But how does democracy produce the best result with regard to the means of production? How does everybody having a say benefit the means of production? That'd be like saying, well, the military should be subject to democracy. We should vote on how many rounds a soldier carries in a magazine and what caliber it is and how long the rifle is and how much it should weigh. Because obviously the general population is best equipped to determine the gear a soldier carries into battle. The military, experienced veterans, weapons experts, what do they know? Democracy knows best. That's what they're doing with gays in the military. They think the general population knows what's best for the military. How would democracy affect the means of production? And again, what was the quote about the original IBM computer? There'll never be a need for more than... What was the actual number, Nick? Rizzuto, what was the actual number? There will never be a need for, 5 or 6 of these when the computer was first invented? Wasn't that the quote? When IBM first invented the computer, and some skeptic said, there'll never be a need for more than 5 or 6 of these. Had the government taken that wisdom, said, well, he's right. What do you think, people? You think he's right? Yeah. There'll never be more than a need. Can you imagine if the government did that? Can you imagine if the government put the concept of control of production in the computer and software industry in the hands of the public at a time when people thought the computer was something of no real value? It took private business to demonstrate a value. It took private business to create a desire for the computer by demonstrating its wonderful applications. I want to give you some understanding here. Consumerism is a good thing. You hear all these, consumerism lets people spend their money on things they don't need and denies people things they do because capitalism produces winners and losers. Consumerism is a good thing. The more things that are available for sale, the more people will work to purchase them. And in that desire to purchase things, jobs are created. That's the benefit of a free market. You know, liberals who want to return to this quaint, small village, agrarian society, well, for you people, not for them. Of course, they're not giving up their mansions and private jets. But liberals seem to think that you and I and the common folk, the commoners, should live these quaint little lives. Have you ever met somebody that went on an island vacation? Like, we went to this island. It was so rustic. They didn't have electricity. Why? It was so nice and relaxed. And, I turned off my BlackBerry and the people there were so warm and friendly and they have nothing and they live in huts. It was so wonderful. Why is that wonderful? It seems that we have people in the United States who think other people, including other citizens of the United States, are supposed to be living these quaint little lives as to make them feel good about themselves. Like, I'm going to escape the rat race of my community organizing nonprofit job, and I'm going to come down to your crappy little island where you don't have electricity, and I'm going to feel so relaxed in the fact that there's really nothing here. Yeah, go find somebody living without electricity if they would like electricity. The free market allows people to create products and services that other people want. And in that, it drives them to work in order to produce the wealth to buy those things. As people create products that other people want, and people that want things go out and buy things, jobs are created in the process. If we all lived in these quaint little villages where we had one artisan baker and one artisan brewer and one artisan carpenter, and we all lived these little Amish-style lives, there would be no reason to work above and beyond our basic needs. The earthbound Marxist thinks that we should just work for our basic needs. And that will leave so much capital for all the other poor people out there. I got news for you. Capital isn't just there. It has to be created. It has to be earned. It has to be grown organically. If we just baked bread for... Look, Saul Alinsky once said... Let me see if I can find it by simply flipping the book open. I have a whole bunch of his stuff earmarked and... Let's see. Here we go. I believe that man is about to... Okay. We now live in a world where no man can have a loaf of bread while his neighbor has none. If he does not share his bread, he dare not sleep, or his neighbor will kill him. To eat and sleep in safety, a man must do the right thing, if for seemingly the wrong reasons, and be in practice his brother's keeper. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Where's that quote from Obama on his belief in Christ? Let's see. Where's that one quote from that piece today? Oh, this is going to get good. This just dawned on me. Hold on a second here. You're going to like this one. Rizzuto, we didn't even think of this morning. NRA gives Murphy its vote. MSNBC and the White House fundraiser for Jesse Jack. Okay. Obama listed the reasons he became a Christian, telling residents attending a backyard discussion that he was Christian by choice, and the precepts of Jesus Christ spoke to me in terms of the kind of life I would want to lead, being my brother's keeper. Alinsky. We now live in a world where no man can have a loaf of bread while his neighbor has none. If he does not share his bread, he dare not sleep, for his neighbor will kill him. To eat and sleep in safety, a man must do the right thing, if for seemingly the wrong reasons, and be in practice his brother's keeper. I believe that man is about to learn the most practical life is the moral life, and the moral life is the only road to survival. He's beginning to learn that he will share his material wealth or lose it all. What Obama is saying is not that I want to be my brother's keeper, in that I will take what it is that I grow and feed those less fortunate. I am going to take your wealth. I'm not going to be my brother's keeper, in that I sense there are those less fortunate than me, and with my bounty, I will feed those who are hungry. What I'm going to do is be your keeper and feed the poor with your bounty. And you better follow me on this one, because if you bake bread for only your consumption, your neighbor will kill you. 1-866-95-PATRIOT. What he should have said was, if you don't bake bread for your neighbor, the government will kill you. In essence, the liberals are saying we should live these quaint lives where we bake bread for our own consumption, so there'll be all this free capital out there. But if I only bake bread for my own consumption, how on earth am I helping to grow capital? It's when I bake bread and sell it to somebody else that I generate capital, from which revenue is derived for the government to uphold the 18 enumerated powers of a limited government, to provide me liberty and security so I can bake even more bread and make even more money. And because I'm the one baking the bread that is desired by those who wish to eat bread, I have, in essence, a right to enrich myself. And when I bake enough bread and other people consume that bread and I grow wealth and somebody comes along with a super fast computer that runs Windows and I want one, I go out and buy that and improve my bread baking business even further, creating jobs not just in the bread baking business, but in the computer and software business. If all we did was meet our own basic needs and left our wants and desires and our desire for luxury by the wayside, jobs would be lost. The idea that the public knows how to run a company is ridiculous. And the idea that the collective knows what's best for the individual is even more insane. But I don't think Obama is citing religion when he says he wants to be his brother's keeper. I think he's citing Saul Alinsky. 1-866-95-PATRIOT, 1-866-95-PATRIOT. When you look at people who talk about all this benevolence of government, they ignore one thing. The benevolence of government in one hand means that there's a gun in the other hand being pointed at somebody who gives the government what it uses to be benevolent. So for all of these losers who are going to descend on Washington on October 2nd, they should be reminded that what they're asking for is the government to stick a gun in somebody's face. This is the Wilkow majority. The arguments cannot be broken. We don't negotiate what we know to be true. We're right, they're wrong. That's the end of the story. Sirius XM Patriot.